Fair enough. Good evening, folks. How we doing? All in all, as always, it is a pleasure to be here with you all. All right, so my ramblings aside, we are VR, youth of a nation. We are. So in all relative seriousness, thank you all for being here. It always means a lot to me. I appreciate your time, your effort, and your energies. Even play that goes off the rails, even play that bounces around the room at 100,000 miles an hour, leaving holes in the wall and tearing up the foundation, is good play. And getting a chance to know these characters, their related souls across the map of our play, means a lot. So there's no other way to really say it except for from the bottom of my mind, at the top of my heart, and all places in between. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. We are setting off into our second episode of season 6 for Steel Hearts, Rusted Souls. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to share? What are any questions, suggestions, or hypotheses you all would like to address before diving in both feet, barrels, and the fullness of our hearts in this moment?
I know last time what we were doing was planning this party. Did the event planning get done? Are we assuming that and it's the next night, or are we still middle of planning the event?
Still in the planning phase, because there were other things that were actually in the moment that needed your attention. Planning for tomorrow has always been a problem with play and these characters, but planning for tomorrow was definitely removing their gaze off of matters that were right in front of them. All right, so
you want me to pop out and come back and see if that helps?
No. We are here. We are together. We are joined in this fellowship of play. That being the case, with the silence that erupts, a few bits of new-ish business. Welcome, Benji. This is Steel Hearts, Rusted Souls. This is our Gary Chronicle. And as stated, we are moving into season 6. This is the second episode. Haley, Anaya, would you all do the enviable pleasure of bringing Benji up to date as to where we are right this second?
I guess I can do that. Were we still dealing with the cops, or is that over? Do I know where to go?
Just a recap of where we are.
Okay, so recently what has happened is the former Baron of the Anarch State of Gary has been murdered by a unknown beast that turns into a warthog. A shootout happened right after that at the club that we were all at. The body was taken to the Prince of Bolton, if I remember right, and handed over because that was the address we were given by one of our cohorts. And then once we got there, we were tasked with throwing a party. And at that party, we were supposed to invite the people that had a part in murdering the Baron. So our biggest thing was, like I said, just planning this party, making it go off without a hitch. The prince is going to pay for everything. On our way home from that, we stopped off to check on our other coterie named Nikki at their place of business, and before we could leave, the cops decided to question us about the goings on at the local club, which was, like I said, a fairly big to-do. I think that's pretty much where we left it.
Also, we apologize in advance that Benji has to deal with Anaya and Haley.
Oh no, it's fine. Like, I think we're going to get along just fine. Yeah.
You say that now, but just saying. Haley is kind of a party girl. Anaya's a social influencer party girl, so yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I did a lot of partying back in Purdue. It was crazy. I mean, that's what got me out of Purdue, but still.
And that's the funny part. That is the absolutely hilarious part, because while most people think of a prestigious location, everyone thinks that it's this huge ivy-colored, ivy-strewn structure in the middle of the West, in the center of flyover country. Purdue, quiet as kept, is in fact a party school. Not in the sort where the party gets in the way of studying, but the partying helps that built up tension and drama and the social pressures of getting the grade that you want and need for your future career. It is a boiler of expectations and heaped on weight. The pressure and individual as well as institutionalized as well as familial pressures typically result in an excess of various things, from an excess of physical release of all straight strata and level to an overindulgence of all things that can alter the mind, both to help study, to decompress from studying, or simply to keep one's mind focused on that next test. From pharmacologically acceptable to societally expected. Drugs, all shape, fashion, and form, all manner of consumption is rife. There were and are parties where the faculty puts their best foot forward in being the worst role models and influences possible. In the midst of that partying was binging. Much like now, as the detectives, that's what they looked like based on the car, leave from cathedral flesh as the well-known leaders of local law enforcement leave in the unmarked police car, leaving Naya, Haley, Vicky, they're flabbergasted, their minds and their ideas set on building the perfect party, inviting just the right people, which in their case and in their understanding could literally be almost anyone. It's only as the quiet, tense-filled weight of the police leaving do they realize that they are not, in fact, alone. With that hanging over our heads, I'd like to say that this is officially Season 6, Steel Hearts, Twisted Souls. Second episode. Every unhappy being finds its own way to be unhappy. Much like families the world over and in many worlds long gone, each definition of what happiness is varies person to person. Because happy, unlike joy, is based on outcome. It is dependent solely on one deciding an outcome and reaching it, meaning that if you don't reach it or if you merely get close, you are only happy. It is dependent upon the results of whatever finish line, lowest rung, highest step that you assign yourself. You get the job. Yay, you're happy. Have enough in your bank account to buy that 12-pack of Busch Light. Yay, you're happy. Outdrink your buddy. Yay, you're happy. You get your next hit. Yay. Happy. Setting a goal and receiving it determines happiness. But joy, so very much unlike happy, the choice, simple acceptance that this will not alter who I am or what I am. I am in a joyful state. This is a joyful moment. Anything, once that decision is made, allows you to exist in that joy. May not be happy. You haven't achieved a goal, but you are by far more balanced and present of mind, being joyful. It's been a long time since Benji has been joyful, though a part of him, dangly-legged, gets happy when the police pull off. Police leave. In fact, a part of him is quite happy to be alone with the opportunity because he was supposed to meet his Connect, the old man from out in the boonies who has that bag of, no longer on the market, yellow ones that are so very hard to come by that he all but vibrating with the chance of meeting his good old buddy that has those pills from so very long ago. 2 of them into a donor, and Benji could be soaring amongst the clouds. All it takes is 2. With the police gone, he knows that his Connect will be here because his Connect loves tattoos. And the best tattoos that he can think of are here at the Cathedral of Flesh. So we pick up the tail lights of the detective's car disappearing around one corner. Out of sight, out of mind. The plans for the party mentally in the offing. The plans for the party mentally completed. Just invite everybody. And who you want to be there certainly could be there or should be there. After all, who's going to turn down a party? The question becomes and beggars itself, who is everybody?
dead silence. Hi.
Hello?
So there's gonna be a party here soon.
Oh. This is the second time tonight we've been fucking snuck up on. People need to start wearing bells, I think. But yeah, we're planning a party, not having a party here. We need a bigger place to have a nice party, though. Do you know a place to have a party?
I know plenty of places. Looking at you, probably not ones you like. Also, I've been here the entire time. Hi. Kind of waiting for a guy.
Anaya looks at where Nikki's friend was parked. Are they still there, or is that the guy you're talking about?
What sort of guy?
He just kind of raises, like he lowers his hand to about where his neck is. About yay tall, a bit fat, balding. Usually wears what some people call combat flannel.
That's like half a Gary, mate.
Yeah. Guy's really not distinct, sadly. I mean, he's got a fuckload of tattoos, but they're mostly covered, usually.
Alright.
Anaya leans closer to Haley. He means that old dude. I'm pretty sure he means that old dude. The one that Nikki was, like, talking to.
Oh yeah, the geezer. He's got a beard, right? A big bushy Santa Claus beard.
Yeah, just about. Little salt and pepper or something, is that right?
I think he left, didn't he?
He did.
Oh, shit, which direction?
I'm sure Haley has no idea what direction he went.
He go that way or that way, but he could have went that way and then turned that way, or he could do on this way and then turn back that way. Or did he just take out the other way down here? Yeah.
Fortunately, we can't really tell you because we don't know, because we were kind of busy with the cops. And that happened, but like, is there a reason you need to talk to him? Maybe we can try finding him or something for you. I mean, but there's not a lot of time until, like, dawn or stuff, so, like, I don't know.
Oh, it's not important. That guy has good shit. It's like ecstasy on crack.
No. Wait, he had good shit.
Yeah. He's a bit of a regular dealer in some of the more weird stuff you don't normally see on the street.
I know this person.
He's like, you need to know a guy to know a guy to know a guy, and then you gotta know his brother and his cousin. And then sometimes you have to, go down on someone. Anyway,
I think we've all been there.
it's not important. I've still got some stuff.
But it's not good. And the worst thing of it all is you think of what you actually have. You did leave it with Trevor. Now, most people, when they think of the name Trevor, there's a connotation that pops into the mind. Trevor is the antithesis of that connotation. He is neither tall enough to be considered average. He is neither slim enough to be considered average, nor is he round enough to be considered chubby or pudgy. He's also not old enough to be considered adult and not young enough to be considered a child. He is a study in absolute in between everything. which unfortunate for Trevor. Has given him a lifetime of use, has given him a lifetime of ability of expanding his tolerance in crossing boundaries. It's the last person you would ever think of that had ever done anything wrong. In fact, you were with him the day that he absolutely 100% demolished the bartender on their smoke break, went behind the bar, took the 2 most expensive bottles of whiskey, and left a tip, only to come back the next night because no one thought that Trevor would have done such a thing. No one thought Trevor did do a thing. And he was so effective in doing the thing, the bartender didn't realize that he had done the thing. You watch as Trevor sat there and bought shot after shot, shots with the bartender, for the bartender, even tossing a few bucks into their goodwill bucket. He was the one who did so. He was the one that pushed the boundary. He was the one that decided tonight was the night. When Trevor decides that tonight is the night, things always happen, and no one ever seems to put their finger on Trevor. It means you left with Trevor is either in someone else's whole entire being, or Trevor is somewhere right now so spazzed out that he's laughing at the sound of his laugh as he finds it more and more annoying by the second.
Fuck. I don't have my shit. I just don't know where Trevor is, do you?
I'm not even sure I know who Trevor is.
And that's the worst thing. Because the moment that he says Trevor, even though you try not to think of anyone in particular, there is a short, tall, little round guy that surprisingly is muscular and strong, but yet is really pudgy. Your gang of partiers partied with Trevor one night, so much so that they were all laid out in back of Beyond for a week.
Oh wait, do you mean that Trevor?
Yeah, that one. The guy that did the thing with the dog and the bottle rocket. Yeah, that guy.
Right, yeah, I don't know where he is.
Fuck.
Nah, yeah. Dog and the bottle rocket brings back tears of angry incredulity. You were filming a small or Insta lights over Gary Harbor at that time of year are absolutely perfect. It's one of the few hidden gems in the city. You can see downtown Chicago from across the lake. You always have the perfect breeze, and with the light reflecting off the lake, you were there when Rocket's red glare went bursting. And the thought causes your skin to shudder some. You know it, Trevor, that you do everything you can to stay away from. You know where he is tonight because you were purposely staying away from him.
No, not, oh, that fuck? Oh, no.
Yeah, him.
All the fucking people! Oh my god. What a loser. He ruined. Ooh. God, I fucking hate him. But if we absolutely have to find him,
well, yeah, I mean,
we fucking will find him, but I swear to God, I fucking hate that guy.
I mean, he's a douche, yeah, but he has my stash.
I mean, it might need to late. I need to go home before I turn into a pumpkin.
You can do that?
In the right circumstances.
Cool.
Well, I promised you I'd drive you home, and I know the cops things held that up, so I can still do that. But, like, can we give him a ride so he can get his things, and then maybe we can all hang out at your house or something?
I mean, I suppose.
I'd appreciate it. Is it far?
No. As long as you take the back way, because fucking still too many cops out, but... And then she looks towards, like, Nikki. I suppose you're staying here, I guess, right? Since you're home. The cops have already left.
Darling, I wouldn't see myself anywhere but home.
Alright, then, homegirl, I'll see you when we see you so we can finish this party thing up. Stay safe and lock the door behind us, because people be shady in these streets, yo. And she gets back in the car. Haley, you doing shotgun, or you want this guy to take shotgun?
I don't care.
Oh, I'm good with either. I mean, you can throw me in a trunk if you like.
No. Anyway, okay, come on, let's go. By the way, I'm Anaya, and that's Haley. I don't think we introduced ourselves.
Oh, yeah, we met. I used to ride your bus. And, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where I fucking know your face from. I don't believe I can remember that. Sorry, man.
Oh, no, it's fine. Benji. Just call me Benji.
Hello, Benji.
Nice to meet you again. Here's some cash for the ride and the gas and the thing. Yeah.
You're not sure, Anaya, as you look at the cash that he hands you. It's crumpled. It's fairly clean considering some of the things that you've had cross your hands on the bus. But why are there green bolivars mixed in with American dollars?
So you on my Costa Rica connection, huh?
Do what now? Sorry.
She shows him the money from another country.
See.
4 hours earlier, when Benji went out to score after making contact with his Connect, Trevor had him hold several envelopes of cash, two of which he pulled back, one he traded it off, and then lo and behold, here we are 4 hours later after a wild circumstance of events. Benji realizes that not only is Trevor holding his stash, according to the amount of money he just reached out of his pocket to Anaya, and how interspersed it is with non-US currency, Trevor has roughly about $165 of Benji's money as well.
Are you alright?
Oh, nothing. It's fine. Yeah.
Mushrooms?
A little bit. Some other things. Things.
Trevor was more of a douche, outright over the top predator. He could go down in history. There's very few things that he won't do or hasn't done or doesn't have pictures of him doing. It's less seemingly purposefully targeting anyone unless that person has done something, no matter how minor, to Trevor himself. All of his actions, as chaotic as they are always because he can. No rhyme or reason, is not malicious. It's almost as if he doesn't consider anyone else or anything else actually living, or actually anything more than a figment of his imagination. In fact, Benji has been there several times where he's talked to Benji and fed him lies. No, that's not what you say right now. What you say right now, Haley, is witnessed similar behaviors in Trevor. If not for the fact that all of her friends, all of her gang, all of her Scooby group made complete recoveries, you'd think that he'd done so on purpose, but he was perfectly fine. Or as perfectly fine as someone who's back and beyond sane could ever be. While Anaya finds him malicious and a pain in the tuchus, he never seems to angrily target anyone. His actions are the childish, over-the-top actions of someone who has never grown up or who never understands what that might mean. The sort of person where trouble follows in his wake never ever actually touches him.
So, right, maybe we find Trevor later. I had a thought about the party. What if we had like a costume-themed rave? Then there would be like normal people there, so they wouldn't be able to like all freak out and shit, and then we wouldn't have to put no fighting on the invitations.
Oh yeah, and then I could probably invite some of the guys I know. Yeah, I mean, if I'm welcome, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna impose.
So far we got rave, and we got Mardi Gras. So I guess we can do Mardi Gras rave.
Right, with costumes so the ugly people can still be wanted.
Well, that kind of all fits together. You kind of dress up for Mardi Gras, so yeah.
There is a skill required. Drive. There is a skill required to drive. It is a skill that most don't have the wherewithal to apply themselves towards. The saying, the aphorism, and the very real sentiment of I could do this in my sleep is the metric that most people use when commuting across the city. Metric most people use when commuting to work, family, friends, and otherwise every time in every instance they get behind the wheel of their vehicle. And while the streets are considerably lighter in traffic, a foundational rule that is part of the community of Gary is still very much there. If you can't help it, you do not stop. What that means is there are hundreds of California rolling pauses. There are constant taking corners far too fast. And the old caveat of there's no cop, don't stop, does not apply, because as most police officers in Gary are still, even with the influx of cash, money, and manpower, operating off of the old understanding. If there's no reason to stop someone in that moment, you don't. Literally meaning as long as they don't hit anyone, don't kill anyone, they're not brandishing firearms openly at you, most traffic incidents are allowed to go their own way. While things have changed in a remarkably affluent way, the average citizen of Gary old are hard to break. So as you all go careening across the city, one back alley after the next, and while Anaya wheels the vehicle with skill of years behind larger, less mobile vehicles, it is in fact racing. Anaya, would you be so kind as to roll your dexterity and drive? All right, I hope everyone is still there. I'm experiencing some technical difficulties. We are in the path of the storm. I was just hoping that it wouldn't be as detrimental as it seems to be. So if anyone can hear me, please give a yell.
I can hear.
I can hear you.
All right,
Yep.
sounds like a plan. Because my little connection to Discord here has seemed to become tenuous. So we may drop, but we'll play right up to the very end, just like the musicians on the Titanic. And here's the thing. While everyone knows that sun, fire, heading can kill a kindred, most people fail to realize that every vehicle that a kindred steps into is, in fact, a thinly wrapped explosion happening on a consistent, constant basis. We literally strap ourselves to combustion of flammable things and hurl ourselves across the pavement. It's usually overlooked. It's usually not considered. It's usually not one of the many creeping dreads of our lifetimes. And that applies to most kindred as well. Until sitting shotgun, until sitting in the back seat, until traveling in the safe confines of Anaya's vehicle when they have a place to be. All of the restrained, hemmed in boredom of their years driving the bus unlocked. It's unleashed. Watching the G-Wagon move from one alley to the next across one open field that 15 years earlier was a preschool, cutting around the corner of several police cars as they sit window to window having their evening conversation. It is very much a weight and a creeping dread that crawls across each of the kindred in the vehicle because, cars aren't supposed to do this. So G-Wagons, even less. There's no way you should be able to drift around a corner in a G-Wagon. There's no way that you should be able to reverse into a full 180-degree turn in a G-Wagon. There's no way that you can go from the relative east side of this former central business district all the way past the depot as quickly, surreptitiously as she is able. Haley, Benji, Depot is one of the greatest loss there has ever been inside Gary. The Depot was a clearinghouse of all manner of things. It was the effective dark net given life. You could pick up nearly any substance you wanted at a relatively decent price because the vendors were competing with each other. Non-violently, but competing with each other in terms of price, moving the most product and getting the most loyal customers. It was a place where every third Wednesday you had sampling stations. The Depot was glorious. Now, due to whatever happened there, some criminals doing some criminal things, the criminals in a way to shut down a criminal enterprise. It technically is to be expected. It's there in the script, but you all hoped or didn't even think that it would one day end. And as you all slide past it on your way to meet Trevor, it is a centrally located facility, large enough space on that ground floor to hold the mother of all raves.
As we're passing it, Benji is just going to literally clasp his hands together in a an actual prayer of sorts and bow his head at the loss of the Holy Land.
What if? Okay, look. What if we had the party at the old depot?
Huh? Oh, that'd be nice.
That was big enough, and almost everyone knows where it is.
Yeah, and yeah.
Sounds like a plan for me.
I'm sure it'd make all the spirits there happy too.
The spirits.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Speaking of not worrying about it, does Benji actually have...
Oh, it's always on.
Oh, no.
He can't turn it off.
Oh, no. I apologize in advance. Kind of want to succeed, but you very much want to not have it on. But all things being considered, if wishes were fishes, we'd all live in the sea. Benji, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your resolve? Those aspects.
All right, wonderful. Wrong character sheet. All right. Right. Current hunger is assumedly 1.
Is. It's a good thing about Trevor. He can just give and give and give and give. Doesn't seem to have any deleterious effects on him.
Oh, cool. Roll as high as I can.
Yes. Beast has been acting up. You may want to use Incanoe or Realm.
Okay. Well, I can't use either of those on the desktop, so I guess I'll continue what I did last time. And just...
All right. Give me a quick second.
2 successes.
Oh, no. And... Angie, what is your stamina? The rating?
His stamina rating is 2.
Oh, no. Saying a prayer to the depot and it being the place that it is always a good thing. The depot is. There are moments where you've had conversations with a person who was not there physically, had partied with Hendrix, were there when Gary became known as the Magic City, and the obverse of that, however, was also true. There are moments when you snuck past it, when you've tried to hide from looking at it, because there are things happening there that are best left unimagined. Fortunately, you don't have to imagine them. You get to see them. And in the moment, as you all are passing, and the briefest flicker of attention is paid, the depot comes to life. It lights from within with a baleful glare, and bright enough to cast shadows of the specters and spirits all over the sidewalk as you slide by. There are men and women of various states of dress and undress. Some of them are actually chained one to the next, being led into the exploding furnace that the depot is. There's very few instances where you've seen it in a state of such abject dehumanization, abject horror, a story that's best left unthought of. But in those moments, it's literally always the same. Armies of the formerly living, reliving, being walked into a furnace. You hope, pray that that's all you get to see, because you know what happens next, as it invariably does, because the bodiless dead persist. So as they enter, the smoke billows out, the depot turns into a wood chipper the size a skyscraper, and those things, those bodiless dead that have entered into its space, are suddenly being torn asunder, bits and pieces of them flying out, being stuffed back in by invisible hands, their skin, bone, and everything that they are ground into the finest of paste, which is held in cheesecloths and gently squeezed by invisible hands until everything that they are empties into these large vats. These huge vats, most of them copper, some of them clay, and they're marked with a mixture of numbers and letters describing souls therein. This is one of those nights, one of those days where souls are unhappy. There are hundreds of thousands of them being ground into grist. The dead don't know or care what effects that has on the living, the few that can see them. They play out a clearly exaggerated version of their deaths for your witnessing, without care of you witnessing it. They're lined up as if they're going to the DMV. You occasionally see the effects of some of them being prodded forward by invisible pole arms, beams, halberds. You're not sure, but something causes them to lurch forward. More wounds appear on their corpuses, and it is stuff of nightmares. There's one thing watching a soul expire and move on to its just desserts. It's another watching it trapped in a teleplay, outliving its own exaggerated death. Because as far as you know, there's no such thing as a huge wood chipper where bodies are being put into. And as far as you know, there's never been a furnace at the depot.
Benji is just going to suck on his lip, like his bottom lip. He's going to bring his knees up to his chest and fall over in the back seat into a fetal position and just start muttering, "Not tonight, not tonight, not tonight, not tonight, not tonight, not tonight, not tonight, later night, sometime later, no, not now."
Mushrooms.
Gonna be okay back there, homie?
Yeah, just so long as we are away from here. It should be better tomorrow or the day after. Not good tonight.
It's alright, sweetie. You're in a safe place. Just breathe.
Oh yeah, I need to do that. He just starts mimicking breathing.
It's one of the many consistencies of being dead. There's literally no other way to really put a finger on it. You are dead and have been for long enough to be accustomed to death. But the inconsistency begins and ends with you do not ever have to breathe. Yet, when you do, if you are in a moment of stress, you do, in fact, hyperventilate. You do lose your breath or have it stolen. You do experience a near cardiac effect from breathing so quickly and regularly. Yet you don't have to breathe. So needless to say, you all slide past the depot at Miller Beach, and you're out past Ripley all the way up off of Melton. In some places, some people who are just idiots. Let's just call it what it is. Trevor is one of those people. It is a relatively harmless it, as far as things go. By harmless, meaning that no one ever holds him accountable for any of the injuries or harms that he's caused. Ever. People don't tend to even remember that he was the cause or the catalyst of the harm that they've experienced. But you all remember Trevor. The fact that each of you all can recount instances where Trevor has outlived his usefulness but still manages to be around. The uncanny. So as you all ease to a stop at the warehouse just past Salacious, warehouse is known for raves. It's known for bands who can't play anywhere else playing. The warehouse is known as the jungle gym because people get drunk, high, and otherwise and climb the building. There are irregularly placed bricks and handholds and footholds up the side of the building. Yes, however, there are things that you should do and things that you should not do. While it is socially acceptable for those who party at the warehouse and do such a foolish thing, there have been more people falling or pushed off or slipped off or not quite making it much of anywhere and freaking out. It is known for a place to lose oneself in whatever moment you are experiencing, and without fail, there will be at least 3 to 4 other idiots willing to follow along. After all, they've been there before. They may be there right now and they know the way. Come on, I got a friend. He lives right up the road. All anxiety. I meet them together. There's also a reputation of the place being the place you go when you're trying to come down from a bad trip. If it wasn't so beautiful in its shabby disrepair, everyone in the city and around it would know to stay away. Instead, during the day, at sunset, at sunrise, it is one of the few places where it is absolutely perfect. You can take a picture of yourself, a selfie of yourself catching most of the downtown in the background. You can take a selfie of yourself capturing most of Lake Michigan in the background. You can take a selfie of yourself catching the expressway leaving Gary in the background. It is a beautiful place. It is overgrown and wild and just habitable enough that you can find nice comfy chairs tossed off. The parking lot is filled with people who've come and illegally dumped all manner of things. Folding chairs, tables, and some person emptied an entire truck filled of out-of-date liquor there once. It was the best bonfire ever. The place still has power. It still has running water. The elements are claiming everything they can. Grass that reaches up to your chest, to wild roses growing around the edges of the property. As you all ease to a stop, what's the plan?
Well, I'm gonna go to. I'm just gonna exit the car, and I will be right back. Question mark. I'm just gonna go talk to Trevor. Yeah.
If he gives you a hard time, hit him in the balls. But I'm not gonna wait long, okay? Because we gotta get Bailey home.
Right. Yeah.
All right, we'll just wait here then.
he just walks up to apartment door or whatever the hell kind of situation Trevor has.
Moving through the warehouse, finding where Trevor might be. Well, it's not like finding a needle in a haystack. It's like finding a piece of hay in a needle stack. There are all manner of sirens that could easily lead one astray. And the reality of the matter is that even while being perfectly satiated, knowing that you could feed and get away with it and still have just enough of what you want is very hard to ignore. Knowing that you could into a little small dark space and no one would think anything of it except for there's two guys or two girls or two people, to anyone caught up in the moment having a moment with themselves. You could be perfectly alone together with whoever is here. No one would bat an eye. It's a thing you do. Don't do. The choice is yours, man. Why live only once when you could live forever once? 100 different lifetimes are here in the offering. They could all be yours for the low, low price of your sobriety. And the beast agrees. There's an entire 24, 30 people. Zanaya and Haley sit in the car having a walk. They've arranged the garbage cans, the flaming garbage cans, in a line on one side of the parking lot, forming a stage and a runway. They have found nearly completely matching sets of folding chairs, and they're sitting there in their ensembles, each of the two houses, and they are having an honest to goodness walk off here. On the roof, you see 7, 8, 9 people standing on the very edge of the roof. Some looking towards the lake, some looking towards downtown, some looking towards the expressway, which you can see from here, leading out and away from everything that is even remotely Gary. There's a few stragglers moving back and forth between. Some are just lost at the moment and smoking and puffing away their lives. You're not sure whether it's cigarettes or anything else, but it doesn't really matter. Even as Benji heads towards the building to get inside to find Trevor, you see 3 or 4 people on the northwest portion of the building attempting to climb that wall to get to the top. Some of them slipping and pulling bricks with them as they go. Then there it is on the northeast side of the building. The gang fight that every parent in the late 70s and early 80s thought the world would devolve into. They're honestly having a good old-fashioned Michael Jackson styled knife fight. Their hands are chained together and their gang colors are flying. Not that gangs use colors anymore. Yet they have their bandanas in their back pocket. Some are tending to crip walk while they ease closer. Some are bumping into each other, and the two who are chained together attempting to stab each other, slice each other, or otherwise get the blood flowing, dead serious about their blue steel gaze and glare as they slash the air and try to leap out of the way, and don't realize exactly how painful it is to poke yourself or anyone else with rusty blades. At various windows of the warehouse, you see smokers and otherwise indulging. Lights behind them somehow adding to the surreality of this moment. This is the boundless, wild wasteland of nearly every post-apocalyptic future combined into one state. Warehouse. Happens when the order and consistency of the depot falls away. Anything and everything becomes not only possible but probable.
Is there I know I'm usually in a bit of a haze when I come and go from him, but is there through aspects or just general investigation of sorts, or what have you.
Wits and streetwise, wits and etiquette, or wits and just vaguely remembered hunches. Insight.
Would urban survival apply if this was a streetwise roll?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so wits plus streetwise, it's gonna be total. Alright. 4 successes.
Excellent. While that roll is happening, Benji's making his way through the warehouse as you all sit and watch this happening all around you. Anything that you all are discussing, realizing where you've come to, what boundless opportunities you've come to.
Like, how the fuck is it Fashion Week Gary over there this week? Like, I don't even know. But, should we call and solidify the plans for tomorrow so that they can at least get the money coming this way and get things set up?
I mean, it not be a bad idea. Keep him appraised. Perhaps he doesn't like our plan. Perhaps he doesn't want, the kind to be there. Perhaps he wants it to be vampire only, but I feel like if the kind were there, not only would it be more fun, but it would probably be more safe.
Well, he told us he's leaving the planning to us, so either way, but yeah, maybe we should just like run that past him and see if he's cool with it or not, and then do it anyway.
Right, he didn't give us a lot of parameters to work with, but I agree, we should make it as fun as possible.
So, Anaya is going to take the information that they were left with, or whatever contact person they were given, to recontact, I can't remember his name right now. Not Decibel. Decibel, yeah. Contact him and let him know where they're throwing the party, which is going to be the old depot, and what the theme and idea of the party is, so that they can get that started planning and starting set up for the next night.
So you guys are caught up in thought, caught up in considerations of what has yet to come to any semblance of fruition. You're planning on the party, planning on a party. There aren't any invitations out. There aren't any trailers. There's nothing whetting anyone's appetite, and you haven't put your interest in front of anyone as of yet. You've manifested the idea that it is a certainty that people will show up without any of the effort. I'll just say all of this to sum up that you all are envisioning and holding the image firmly in your minds as you all are discussing. So no one is watching the environment around themselves in this moment as you all are cycling through your phone to reach out to Belial so that he can reach out to his maker so that you can get a hold of Decibel and get everything moving. Is that a rough approximation of what you all are doing as Benji is heading into the warehouse?
And also watching cat videos.
Well, I guess it's a yes or no in this situation, isn't it?
It is.
Well, then, yeah, that's what the fuck they're doing. They're like, no, we're vampires. We're not worried about anything going badly.
Okay. It is 18 after the hour. I gotta go. I'll be right back. Give me 10 minutes. All right, a few minutes early. Is everyone back?
I think Diva is a sorting out technical difficulties.
Aha.
I'm here.
Okay, I switched sources for the mic, even though it's the same freaking thing. So you can hear me now, I'm guessing, right?
We can, and you're clearer.
So now, when I put the mic on mute, let me know if you can still hear me, please. Okay. Nothing?
We couldn't hear you if you were talking.
Yeah, I was
I
talking. Okay, perfect. So I don't know what caused that. Discord is being disrespectful as hell. But for some reason, switching the source, even though it's the same source, fixed it. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
You're clearer as well.
You know, I'm wondering if that's what was going on the other day when we had that one shot, or when we were talking to each other the other night. Fixing my character sheet, I think that was what the problem is. Because I had recently switched and got a new webcam, and the webcam has its own mic on it, and I turned the webcam mic off entirely, but I think it messed with the settings as to which mic it was picking up, so that could be what it was. And now that I've tested it and switched it back over, hopefully it'll stay that way.
Yeah, compared to the previous times I've been in VC with you, there's absolutely no feedback now. Like no static or anything. At least for
And
me.
I also turned down the input sensitivity because I noticed it was up really freaking high. For some reason, like, I could snap well away from the mic and it would still pick it up. It's a really good mic, that's why, but at the same time, it was just too sensitive.
That sounds like a plan. All right, so. Because of being impaired and distracted. Because of being caught up in a moment. Because bloody palms and smiling happy fangs are dancing in both Haley and Anaya's head, as well as the odd video of a hidden version of John Wick. Instead of an assassin losing their dog, there's a cat losing their owner to some Russian mobster who is attempting to buy their particular covered kitty litter pan. The kitten goes on a string of vengeance kills to right the wrongs done to them. And while all of that is happening, you all both receive a -2. Please roll your wits plus awareness.
There we go. Had to find a dice roller that worked.
Fate has plans in store, to say the least. Both of you rolling the pleasure of fate, receiving the same result. Caught up with the visions of what is yet to happen. Caught up with the perfection that you all can bring to the demographics of your audience. Getting audiences whole cloth from nothing. Just the idea of there being a party hosted by you all. Hitch the roof of the G-Wagon. Lights off. It's disgusting. The fact that it is still moving only makes matters worse. I'm pausing on that moment of impact. Benji, there are certain things that you expect at the warehouse. Being back and beyond gone with whatever pleasurable moment you can hold. Always first and foremost in your mind. It's akin to Pavlov's dog. being here, washed in all of the rampant, random emotions, you might as well be the Sugar Plum Fairy or the Tooth Fairy, collecting twos and spreading wishes and helping fairy tales come to life. Place is absolute magic when it comes to that purest, most sanguine pleasure. Release for release's sake. Pleasure for pleasure's sake. Somehow, Benji does not get distracted. Somehow, Benji is able to swim up out of his own recollection of what this place is without having any details to guide himself by, no landmarks that pop out in his head. Because at this portion of the evening, typically he has fed well enough that even the beast is a little zooted. Typically, by this hour of the evening, he has all sampled and sipped bulk of the individuals gathered here. He has not only had his drug of choice, but he's had his drug of their choice, and then their cousin's choice, and then their cousin's friends, cousin's brother's choice. And he's managed to make himself and everyone around him feel that extra special good. Fortunately, in the doing, this is most of the details of the place. Has this hallway always had paved replica of a street? Huh. Has this hallway always used real fire? And there's lamps? Huh. Has this little corner of nowhere always led to that funeral parlor? Interesting. I'm gonna dunk it. Walnut lacquered coffin. The actual shape of real coffins, not like today where there are these almost cigarette-like tubes that people are stuffed into. No, this is an actual coffin. It starts with the rough outline of the shape of the head down to the shoulders and the arms crossed, leading to that tapered, oh so refined footing. Huh. To thunk it. Has that stripper pole always been down that hallway? Needless to say, after all of these many questions and moments popping up along the way, he finds himself in the salon where Trevor usually holds court. It is the second highest floor in this building. The view seems to go on forever. See Chicago there in the distance, the lake right there. You can even see the breaks, the rocks along this portion of the shoreline. It is a great view, and it's one of the few places that has all of the windows that belong in place, not broken or cracked. It's one of the few places that warm, inviting. All of the furniture matches, they're in sets. There's a living room space, a bedroom space. The door is never locked. People come, people go, people stay. Yet, everyone knocks before entering. He only remembers that everyone knocks before entering because his hand is already extended to knock on the door before opening it. He continued through with his knock.
Sorry, it was muted. Yeah, he knocks on the door, walks in, just says, "Hey, Trevor, you home?"
Nah, man, he went up to the roof. He wanted to show Eduardo how to fly. There's some conversation about gravity being a construct of the modern mind to exemplify how larger forces of capitalism or communism is constantly weighing us down and keeping us from soaring to the heights we know that we could achieve if but there was no active force of gravity pulling us down to the earth. Something like that.
Oh, he's with water. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. They're usually pretty stupid together.
Man,
Have you seen my stuff?
you got stuff?
Yeah. I left
Is it
stuff.
the...
It's kind of in like a Kmart bag.
Oh man, congratulations. And the older person, they're just emaciated and gaunt enough that you can't tell whether they were at one point an extraordinarily feminine looking masculine individual or extraordinarily masculine feminine individual. You're not sure, but they rise up off of the couch, putting their feet under them, and they shuffle towards you. Feet seeming to start fire if they keep shuffling too far, but they're taking hundreds of little small steps as they get closer and closer, as if they don't have the full mobility to do a full stride. From the bottom of my heart, man, they extend their hand. Their joints are gnarled and knobby like tree knots. Their pallor of their skin, you can tell that they've worked in the sun the entirety of their lives and half of their their parents' lives in the sun. Muscles that cord up beneath the skin literally look like braided copper. And then there's their eyes. Despite the lines of age, the lack of much fat on them at all. Much so that their cheekbones sit big, bright, and high, and sharp enough to cut bread by. Their eyes are crystal clear. Normally, those who imbibe either liquid, powdered, pill, or other forms of inebriation, there's a redness the eye or a jaundice. There's a used life essence leaking out of their eyes. Their pupils are big as pies or as small as pins. These eyes dan to sparkle with the remnants of stars in them. And I just want to tell you that Kmart bag, I don't know where you get all of those yellows, but they went down like mother's milk, I tell you. It was the stuff of legend. The 15 folks that were here for the party, oh my God, 3 of them went out, shaved their heads, and joined those fashionistas on the north side of the building. The 2 of them decided they could scale the Tower of Babel and understand language. We don't have any towers nearby, but they started climbing the building. You know how those kids do. And then the others, kind of bought in what Trevor was saying about flight and capitalism and communism. I think they went out to start a revolution. Me, I'm just too tired for all of that. It was good stuff, but I think I had equal to it, if not better, back in 62. I want to say 62. It may have been 61. So 62 sounds more like something that you'd be able to tell a story about.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah. You gotta get more of that. And well, I already paid Trevor for it, but then he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a little rusted Hot Wheels ambulance. Still has some of the red, blue, and yellow paint along the side of it, still in place. Not completely eaten up by rust, but it is an older Hot Wheels car because it is 100% die-cast metal. None of that new plastic stuff they've been pushing. The windows in the ambulance are actually real glass, back before they found out that plastic was cheaper. This, and they take your hand, opening it as they sit the ambulance down in your hand, and they fold their hand on top of yours, bring you in on top of the ambulance. You realize how old the vehicle is because even dead though you are, the sharp corners of that ambulance let you know that it is not only not child safe, if you throw it hard enough at someone, it will definitely act as a weapon.
Thanks. Well, I'm glad someone had some fun with that.
It was good stuff, man. And I know it's a little bit much. Don't worry about it. You're definitely worth the full value.
Yeah, I'm definitely worth this. I agree. You said Trevor was on the roof with Eduardo?
Oh, that wire's on the roof with Trevor.
Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to Eduardo.
Yeah, you better hurry up. This is the part where his mother starts crying. And then they turn around and head back to the couch and freakily. Oh yeah. It takes a solid 46 seconds for them to stop, stoop, and stoop further, finally fall till the hip is actually resting against the couch, then slowly begin turning around and getting settled so that the hips are aligned with the couch, and then one leg and then the other. Then they realize that that's not a comfortable position, so they slightly turn at an angle. And each of these movements, each of these many hundreds of movements made very, very, very slowly is correlated to yeah. 46 seconds later, finally feel as if they're back someplace where they won't fall in a stiff breeze. Turn around and leave, slipping the ambulance into one of your many pockets. You know that there are two ways up to the roof inside the building. Both of them suck because they require a leap of faith over a missing ladder rung, or over the broken landing onto the door that leads up and out onto the roof. You can always go back downstairs to the outside and climb the building like a bunch of the other idiots, or you can take one of those leaps of faith. Which one would you try?
What was the second one? I apologize.
Leaping over the...
You said it was a ladder rung. And
Leaping over the landing through the door.
which one is typically the shorter, distance of jump?
Oh, the ladder.
Yeah, he'd go for the ladder then.
Speed being what it is, haste being important, you take the quicker of the leaps of faith. It's funny that of all of the things you remember about this place, that always calls it a leap of faith. It's not that. It's just a missing rung or a missing landing. It's not a religious moment. There's nothing inherently magical or mystical about that process, about that ritual. Yet, you know that he always tells everyone that it is a leap of faith. be so kind, just go ahead and roll your dexterity and athletics for me.
One moment. As he has no athletics, he is instead going to rouse the blood for dexterity. If
Yes.
I can. Success, no hunger gain, yay. And that's gonna be 5 dice. Four successes.
And as always, in heading upstairs, you brace yourself, you reaffirm your faith in your abilities, you tap into the strength of the beast, and you make the leap. It's always the same. And he always calls it a leap of faith, as if there's some mystical, magical aspect to it that no one but he himself ever truly understand or appreciate. He always calls it a leap of faith. Ridiculous. It's literally just jumping over a break, a used building such as this on the edge of nothingness that is the fact where most people feel the city is. Calling it a leap of faith seems a little bit too much for too little, and as you make that leap, Beast laughs and enjoys you willing to do. Not shirking, not hiding. Feel it snortling in your ear. You can feel its strength coursing through you as you pull yourself up and out of the door. You see Eduardo fully unmasked, as reprehensibly hideous as he has always been. Because while Trevor can blend into a crowd of one, while Trevor is both the memorable and markable sort of individual that easily slips the mind, Eduardo is the antithesis of that. It is as if everything memorable about Trevor, everything remarkable about Trevor, all of the hideous, horrible actions of evil, because he simply doesn't care. Every wrong that he has ever done has been meted out its own justice on one person. That's Eduardo. And Eduardo, see, I told you, and leaps. No.
So I just watched Eduardo take the leap of faith and, I assume, crashed into the car below.
The G-Wagon. Oh. He's aiming for the bushes.
Yeah, upon seeing this, Benji just can't help but... Fuck. Just keep climbing.
As Eduardo leaps, gravity, as kind as always, escorts him to the ground in the quickest manner possible. It's nearly a straight dive, as if he was launched out of a cannon at G-Wagon. Being as far from the building as they are, there shouldn't be anything or anyone or any part of anyone that could comfortably land near it. Yet the grotesquely overweight, with emaciated arms and legs that look completely 1.5 times longer than the torso. With feet large enough that you are sure he could run on snow. With feet large enough that it looks as if he could literally ski down a mountain in his socks. With a face so angular and pointy, you sure that he could cut a hole in space and time with his nose. And then the eyes. those honeyed caramel eyes sitting in all that wreck and ruin. And choking on his blood, broken teeth, shattered bones. I told you, you can't fucking fly! Really? I am. Eduardo came comfortably to the paint job, the structure of the G-Wagon, yelling at someone or something too far away to hear on the top of the building. What are you all doing?
Well, Haley will squeal and then yell, "What the actual fuck?"
Like, it's in a fair amount of shock at first, blinking, but then, like, she is trying to figure out how to get out of the G-Wagon so she can demolish this person that just fucked her car up.
From a height of 3.5 stories, because the building, even when it was actually part of the city and even when it was in operation, was not built to any actual code. If anyone is paying attention, they'd realize that the first floor is only 9 feet height from the floor to the ceiling, and that the second story is only 15 feet in height from floor to ceiling, and third is exactly 23.3 feet in height. Windows range from floor to ceiling to barely a slit. Odd angles and odd places. What remains of the building, that is. Remember, nature has made its way, and there are singing ivy and crawling wispavits, and that they're old, actual wild roses as well. Somehow in the firelight, it looks like an actual, completely useful, utilitarian building. So everyone knows that it's not. Everyone knows that it's a great place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live here. It's outside of the rules. At least most people who come here believe that it is. Most people who come here don't believe that the cops even pay attention to this place. Eduardo was there, and defying the laws of gravity and the pain that comes when you break those laws and those rules, he is still alive. You bastard! I told you we can't fly. It's just... I
think we need to go through and what was at us.
Looking through the glass window, look like spidered glass at Eduardo. I'm going to fucking murder you when I get out of this bitch.
Hi. You want to call an ambulance? They know me by name. Hey! Don't just sit there. They'll heal my boy. They'll heal wrong. Ambulance. Help.
She is trying her...
Haley is totally... Go ahead.
She's trying her best to get out.
Haley is putting this shit on TikTok.
There is balance of our actions. There is the bill that always comes due. Pushing against the door, I realizes that there's some heft to her doors and there's some heft to her muscles. And between the two, the one thing that won't stop is in fact her muscles. As Haley opens her phone and starts doing things with her phone, door creaks open as if you are tearing it into existence.
As soon as her feet hit the ground and she can grab hold of Eduardo, I don't think she's ever met him before and she doesn't likely care right now. But as soon as she can grab hold of him, oh, he's grabbed.
Your DC is 1. All you have to do is not fail. Grabbing Eduardo is easier than falling due to gravity. Gravity's always trying to keep you down, and you are not alone in that fact. Eduardo, clearly a victim of every sense of gravity. Gravity of two related individuals not having relations. Gravity of drug and alcohol abuse while the child is in the womb. The gravity of 64 individuals loosely related, creating progeny down throughout the ages. Gravity of being ignored and not taught. Gravity of being out of place, out of time. The gravity, most importantly, gravity itself doing everything it possibly can to keep idiots from believing they can fly. Here he is, in your hands, crying for ambulance. They know me by name. Help! 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 You're gonna set wrong. Help!
And I just starts ragdolling the shit out of him.
And Haley posts it to the internet.
There is.
Unless of course she's like Potence ragdolling him, and then she'll turn her phone off. She's not that stupid.
Anaya, do you body?
I don't believe so. I mean, she's, like I said, she's a weightlifter, so she's just strong on her own before even counting being a vampire. She's got soaring leap as part of her potence, not lethal body.
So while it's explainable as someone who is just extraordinarily fit, it could very quite easily be perceived as something else. It is a moment of, is it real or is it Magnavox? Not even Memorex, Magnavox. Is this something that modern audiences would see on Tubi, or is this something that the federal government will come down on? Depends on how you market it. As you're slamming the puny god that is Eduardo, left, right, and center, is there any lesson you're applying to this, or you're just trying to make sure that what was not broken in the fall is now broken by your hand?
she's like, who the fuck is gonna pay for this shit? Don't you understand? I worked hard to get what I have, and you come down here. What the fuck is wrong with you? And she's like looking up where he jumped from, and just like, yeah.
Eduardo tries to look past her. He's still talking to Trevor, even though there's too much time, distance, and pain between them. Trevor is standing on top of the building, his black mono-style bathrobe flowing behind him because the wind caught the edges of it. One leg up, and the one-eyed, cock-eared bunny on his slipper seems to be staring down on you both in judgment as his well-worn boxers, thin enough that you know what he's thinking, and thick enough that, well, they're still covering him, adds to the ensemble of a knight-avenging hero as he and Benji look over the edge down towards you, Haley, and Eduardo as you eat the rest of the unliving hell out of him. While on the roof, why don't they ever believe? If you believe, you can fly. Look at that, Benji.
Oh yeah, I can see like 3 people flying right now.
He looks over his
Just looking up.
He looks over his shoulder, making sure you are alone. You see them too? Fuck, I thought I was the only one.
No, I've always been able to see it.
You prove yourself again. Look at that. Hey, 3 more leaps and I have to make you one of the apostles.
Oh yeah, I was told by that really old-looking man downstairs that you sold all my stuff.
Sold is a not untrue. It's also not true. It's not really selling when you're kind of loaning it out for a cost. If they bring it back, they get their money back, get their services back. Completely 100% fairly and equitably in measure for what I was given. No one really ever brings it back. And they never read the fine print. There's interest on this, which of course goes to you. You loaned me the initial product. Speaking of which, did you get in contact with your buddy to get more? We're running a little low. In fact, we're out.
Oh no, I think he got scared off by the cops or something. I was told. Anyway, as he puts his hand on Trevor's back and just says, "But Trevor, you're a douchebag, but I like you. You wonder how you can make up to me?"
On the roof? Ew. You're freaky.
No, not like that. Maybe later. There's a party or a rave of some kind that's going to be happening here soon at the depot.
Why the depot?
Bring as much.
I thought after all the murders that happened there, that no one would go back.
Well, you know how stupid people are sometimes. Just bring as many people and drugs as you possibly can. Just whenever I get you to date, yeah.
Yeah. You want to get me the date so we can dig up the supposed secret stash that's underneath?
Yeah.
There's supposedly a whole processing plant underneath the depot that those old mobsters and those African child soldiers used to manage.
Yeah, I remember El Capono.
No, the Castiglione and a compost. Supposedly buried their processing plant there after the last raid when the farmers market got shut down. Speaking of which, did you know that the farmers market still has operating servers? I've already sold 3 of them.
Really?
Yeah. How else are we gonna outfit the Batcave?
Yeah, you're right. Ah. Yeah. He's actually just gonna lean over the edge and just look down.
Looking over the edge, Anaya is absolutely demolishing what's left of Eduardo. And from the space that the window should be in the G-Wagon, there's occasionally a flash of light that pops out.
Man, I like.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He heals from everything. I think it's because his grandparents were cousins. Not in the royal way, not in the kissing cousin. They were too close for that.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I remember that one time with the, when I tried to jump the car. He's too short for that. He needs to...
No. He's got to be our final offering once we have enough apostles anyway. Killing the unkillable is something that... Oh, by doing the impossible, we prove that nothing is impossible, which gives us the power and strength to do all manner of things that we can. Like, I was thinking of borrowing your immortality, but you don't believe enough yet. Like I said, you need 3 more just to become an apostle, and then there's 15 more. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. We just need you to make 3 more leaps of faith. Your sacrifice of energy is... Whew, yeah.
So yeah, I think that rave's gonna be like in the...
Oh yeah, no.
Not tonight. No, not tonight. Spirit Sarah, wait.
Yeah, this is... well, maybe if what I know is right, and you know, history is written by the people that are right. This was one of the nights where they would kidnap people, and bring them there to help work in the processing plant. Then those people would never leave. I heard a friend of a friend who hates my guts but loves, well, comes from it. That the processing plant didn't have anything to do with drugs, but was just as destructive. Not sure if that's true. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past anybody, but only through drugs can we really appreciate this life. I mean, if you're not high, how can you see between they want you to see?
Yeah. Hey, was it true that they would you present her at one point?
What? Who?
What? Who? Yeah, good talking to you. Yeah, I'll get in contact and let you know like the specifics when it happens, and we will go and delve into the deep for the treasure.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
It'd be a nice.
Hey, hang on. And he reaches into his bathrobe. It's nearly his whole arm in there, all the way up to his elbow. And he pulls out a handful of Hot Wheels cars. I think I want to be fair, and Josephine's friends left a lot of these. So here, you get the... I don't like orange. And he pulls out an orange tractor and hands it to you. And I also don't like fuchsia. He pulls out a car that's never been on the road. It was just a car from a convention that they put together to show what the future could hold, and that future came and went before it actually ever reaching fruition. He hands them both to you, so that we're fair. You know, I like I said, it's a loan. You can get the interest, but it's something, you know, to hold for the loan. Here's this. Oh, and did you keep any of those, the money that I gave you?
I had to pay to get here. I think Eduardo fell on my ride.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. They'll be fine. They can crash.
Yeah.
They can crash here. As long as they don't mind taking secondhand vitals, stuff. So I got more than enough room, and it's close enough to the start of the day that you guys should probably bed down.
I have a stupid fucking question.
Okay.
Out of character. Is he a Kenja? Question mark?
No, it's never come up.
Well, that's a weird thing to bring up.
Yeah, you guys look like you've been partying all day.
Right.
No, No, I have. Oh my God, the things that. But you guys wouldn't be into it anyway. That's fine. Cool. You guys get squeamish and worried about things, and yeah, let's go talk to him. I got a couple of things up here, and he walked over to the northeastern side where a pixie cut blue, yellow, and purple haired girl is popping an arm up over the ledge. Offers her a hand and helps her to her feet. The moment that she's standing, my haircut sucks, and he pushes her back over.
Off the edge?
I mean, who judges a man by his haircut? I'm half bald. What the hell? It's cruel. Gonna be such idiots, you know?
Yeah, Benji's just gonna go and start climbing back down towards his newfound companions.
As you're yelling, beating Eduardo, trying to find a way to approximate your value out of him. Haley continues taking pictures, some Snapchat, some video, all of it going up on social media platforms.
I don't know. I think after like the first couple minutes of shaking him and beating him up, when nothing comes of it, she'd probably just kind of like drop him and just like start trying to figure out how she's going to recoup the loss that is her vehicle. Because it's not like she can just call somebody and say, hey, come pick up my car type thing. Most tow trucks don't work at night, sort of thing. I mean, unless they know somebody that does, but would she have heard of Marsh Motors, actually? Thinking about that now?
That's a good question. Wits plus contacts, standard DC. And while that roll is happening, Haley.
Haley will get bored of filming things, put her phone away. She will try to ascertain whether the car is going to be drivable in her limited capacity to do so.
Okay, intelligence plus drive. There is a car yard where the driver where the drivers typically will work on what seems like no real value, but you've seen them a couple of places and you've crossed paths with them while you were driving. Bus, can't remember exactly where. No, you've seen those all black tow trucks. There's not any phone numbers on them or anything, but they were serious looking guys heading to serious looking places. You've even seen one or two of them dragging or pulling cars across town. Fortunately, for the life of you, can't remember where they were. Know they exist, and they're out there in the dark right now. You can't remember.
And I looked at Harry. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my baby. It's trash, and how am I gonna get around? How am I gonna get you home? I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. Where the fuck is Benchy?
Yes, it is completely, totally trash, Haley. This is like something that you've seen stripped by the side of the road because it was left there after similar instances. You know, bottles popping up from being pushed from the back of tires, someone throwing something out of the side of a car, and it ruins the car behind it. You've seen it stripped hours later. This is definitely going to be stripped. This car sits here, you are sure that there's not going to be much left of it.
Bloody hell. It's not all drive. It's like trapped here. This is no good. I need to go home.
You all hear a scream. The chorus, "Fuck you, driver!" Eduardo is still laying there in a puddle of his almost liquefied bones. Oh.
I don't think you hit him enough.
Ambulance!
She looks back over at Eduardo. Look, not only are you asking us to call the authorities, knowing what the fuck you are and what the fuck we are, you want to explain to them what the fuck happened in my car?
How'd you know about my family incest?
She looks absolutely gobsmacked. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
No. Getting married at 16 was the norm. But they lived all the way up in the mountains. There wasn't many people around.
What the actual fuck does that have to do with anything, mate?
Grandpa Peter and Pietra. How did you know?
It's your bloody fault that I'm fucking trapped here. She will kick him.
Oh. Ambulance? And Benji's there.
Hey,
Oh,
are you okay?
we know about Grandpa Pete.
Don't worry, everyone does.
Except Benji and motions to your car.
He's just literally like kneeling next to him, just like patting him on the forehead.
Do you see? What the? Look at my car! Look at it!
Oh, right. So they sold all my drugs. But whenever we get the date settled, me and Trevor are gonna go dig up the what was it called? The El Capono. The El Dorado of drugs. That's kind of underneath it somewhere. So we're gonna be it's gonna be a fucking blitz party. As he just kind of wriggles around in his pocket and pulls out the little fuchsia Hot Wheel. Got you a new car.
Right. So, this is a bit of a pickle. It's getting late.
Oh yeah. He said that you all could stay at like his place if you'd like. Something about
Okay.
the partying all night and that things and stuff.
I don't bloody want to stay at his place.
I mean, it's fair. He's kind of a douchebag, and he's been kind of pushing people off the roof kind of all night. I think.
So wait, you mean tell me this is Trevor's fault?
Yeah, he's been trying to teach people to fly. I think.
She starts rolling her sleeves up like she is going in the building to go fuck him entirely at.
She got an attachment to her car.
Oh. By the way, did she take the little fuchsia car? Or am I just holding it out to no one in particular?
Looks down at it. Looks at him. Looks down at the car. Looks back at her car.
Okay. He just puts it back in his pocket. I'll save that for later then.
So, barring staying here, what are options?
Well, I know a nice place in the sewer nearby.
Right, not getting any better.
I think there's a Roach Motel somewhere in that direction, or was it that one? I don't know, like, do you... yeah.
Realistically, if they were to call it Uber right now, but it
A what?
Uber!
Oh, yeah. I actually go start rifling through Eduardo's pockets. Does he have a phone in his pocket?
Eduardo doesn't use phones. He says that's how the federal government knows where you are. Eduardo uses pagers. He has 6 on him. 3 of them are working. 2 of them only need a battery. And the third one that everyone has the number for, not just certain people, but everyone has a number for, is in pieces as it was in his hip pocket as he landed on it.
So from the sounds of it, none of them are functioning right now. Let me see, one moment. As he just walked back inside the building to look for a phone.
I mean, Anaya has a phone on her. She's a freaking social influencer. She wouldn't go anywhere without her phone. The point is, we were asking, would it be logical and realistic to call an Uber right now? And the storyteller laughed at us. So that means probably not, and we need to figure something else out.
I don't think I don't think an Uber's gonna come here.
And I looked at Haley. How far is your house? Could we walk there, or are we stuck?
I don't know. How far is my house?
Judging by Google Maps, you could walk it in 53 minutes. As long as nothing else crosses your path.
And when does Google say that sunrise is?
52 minutes.
If we run a bunch of it, we might be able to make it. Haley says as she looks down at her short skirt and high heels.
No, I love you to pieces, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So we might as well go deal with this Trevor cat for the night and like do something to make sure that we're safe. As it is, I need to get inside and fucking snap pictures of my car so that I can fucking file an insurance claim or something. Hopefully they'll fix that.
Right. If you leave it here, it's going to be gone when you get up.
So she's going to take anything important out of the car, snap a couple quick pictures, and pull up her insurance app and start working on that as they're walking into the building, because that's all they can do right now.
One of the many problems that Benji has with most of Gary. Back during the late 60s, early 70s, city had been already ostracized by the rest of Indiana. It had already begun to be the place where good upstanding citizens of Indiana would never tread. On were the days where it was called the Magic City. On were the days where it was the city of industry. On was it being a melting pot in accordance and in intention with Chicago. It was a failing, dying city for longer than most of the residents have ever existed here. Even with Purdue on its western flank, even with the still remaining and still active steel mills and ironworks, even with the most recent influx of cash and officers and a militarized police presence on the street, it is a dying, dead place. The ghosts abound, except here. He has never seen, he's never witnessed, he's never felt presence of the bodiless dead here. Is one of the biggest problems because he can't always be here. Most of even the illegally employed individuals typically don't spend long here. Strange things happen. Things that end up on Instagram stories or snaps or TikToks or tweets. Things that appear and people read about. Some even go nearly viral, but they're forgotten of shortly thereafter. Information about those moments begin to fade and disappear. As you hustle and catch up with Anaya, you and Haley moving in to deal with whatever, that idea, understanding slowly crawls through the maple syrup of your brain. You've never seen the bodiless dead here. Never felt their presence. People have lost limbs. People have removed digits, both from their carpals and metatarsals. People have plucked out eyeballs to prove that the elasticity of the membrane holding the eye from behind is not in fact a muscle. There's something else. It's still part of the body, but it's not a muscle, because you could build a muscle. Muscles have fibers that grow and swell. Seen people extricate several of their teeth on a dare, on a whim, and the last time was because he said that there was a microchip in one of their tooth. They just had to find it. Which is needless to say that Benji knows the way, but it's beginning to dawn on him. Ow.
To get to his place, you got to take a. Well, first and foremost, you have to climb up that pole there that goes to the second floor, and around the corner there is a set of stairs. The third one is a false one that if you step on it, you'll fall down. Well, if you step on it the wrong way, that's the third and a half step. Then you will walk past a hallway that feels like it's going to go on forever. There is a graffiti of a small cat. Like, it's amazing that they managed to make that so small. Right next to the seventh door on the left or right, I can't remember which. That's the correct door. And then it just keeps going for like 5 minutes, giving directions to where Trevor is going, all the while looking through different unconscious or barely conscious people's pockets.
Right now, Benji, you know I'm saving myself.
No, that's not what I'm doing this for.
Oh, I lost it in the bed with Trevor.
Right.
Ask Eduardo, he has his pagers. You can get signal from him.
Oh no, they're all broken.
Got into a fight with Josephine again, didn't he?
No, he tried to fly.
Oh, damn. Sorry about your car. That was one short, tall, fat fuck.
OMG, I cannot believe that I'm doing this.
Where's Josephine? Does she still have her phone?
Really want to try to use Josephine's phone? Dude.
Like,
Why? No one ever calls an ambulance for him. He'll be fine. Let's let him sleep it off. You want to hit it?
Well, I'm sure.
Now, in the history of things that you smoked out of, this is not the first time that you smoked anything out of an actual corn cob. It is the first time that you smoked this particularly graining mix of substances out of a corn cob. Guyvering a smoking vessel is about the most popular sport in this particular location of the world. At whatever it is that you're smoking smells woodsy. It smells as if you are setting a Christmas tree on fire. It smells... Yeah, it smells like burning holidays. Watching your guide to the inner workings of the warehouse light up, smoke out of a corn cob. Naya. Haley.
kind of don't have time for this, babe. Sorry, but
I gave you directions.
Perhaps we could get a motel or something. I don't like any of this.
I understand that we don't want to be here, but we can make the fucking best of it. Slumber party or whatever. And you know I'm not gonna let nobody hurt you, right? She flexes her arms. I got this, girl.
We're putting our fates in the hands of someone who pushes people off the building for fun.
I think for the most part, he convinced them to do it themselves. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows Trevor's a douchebag. Hey, could you go wake up JJ and Cue Ball, and get them to make sure no one does something to their car? Here, as he just hands her two very clearly stolen wallets that are full of cash and.
Oh, nice, man. How'd you know it was my birthday in 322 days?
Happy early Mardi Gras. Yeah. He just pats her on the shoulder and just starts leading this gaggle towards the room.
That's the funny thing. With your relative skill, not that you're skilled at all, but you do have the advantage of being dead. You all were fairly quick in moving from one point to the next, and that when he gets in these moods and he's holding court and doing whatever his process is, Trevor is not a very fast man under the best of circumstances, and less so when he's already preoccupied. Yet when you get to his door, he is opening it up for you. Ah, man, who needs a phone? Look,
Look, Angeline said.
Oh no, I
had Josephine.
give it to Cue Ball.
Fuck.
Relax. You don't need a phone. You're here. You're eating good in the neighborhood.
Alright, fair enough.
Hey, ladies, how we doing? You, I recognize from that party at what's the chubby asses guy with the hood, the Unabomber? Yeah, man, he was great. I like him. Can't wait to get out to the Dark Cauldron for his All Saints Day thing. He's still doing that this year, right?
I guess.
It's gonna be so killer playing Pac-Man. I've even memorized all of the added on boards that he snuck in there that he thought no one paid attention to. Those sorts of old games, it's more about pattern recognition, you know? Hey, look at my favorite civil servant. Outside of, I don't really like civil servants. So yeah, you're my favorite civil servant. How we doing? This lady. This lady. This lady Benji. How y'all doing?
Do any of us know if this guy is a vampire or not?
It's never come up.
If I have ever scryed the soul, I imagine that Benji has just gotten mixed results.
To say the least.
Haley will heighten her senses and listen to his breathing pattern. Or focus on his breathing pattern anyway.
Okay. There's some people that shouldn't be alive. They're putting so much stress on their nasal cavities and their lungs. They breathe big and heavy and don't realize that by breathing slowly, they're actually exciting their heart. They're causing it to beat faster and faster instead of the opposite of actually slowing down. It's one of the many aspects of life that has never really interested Haley. The question is, in the moment while you all are there in the doorway, do you actually enter at his request? You accept his invitation in.
Oh yeah, without hesitation.
Begrudgingly, but yes.
Definitely not happy about it.
I will post up in the bathroom.
Aye, we can all like puppy pile if you don't mind. But if you do mind, then you could use a spare bedroom. It's a horrible view. You got nothing but a brick wall, and it locks from inside. I even bothered changing the sheets. Expecting better looking company, but I'll take what I can get.
Oh, at that, Anaya
I'm sorry?
jaw drop, and she's kind of looks at him like, "You fucking wish," and storms past him into the bedroom.
Sometimes. So, puppy pile.
I think
man.
not.
I'm gonna just go ahead and just claim the bathtub. That's the most comfortable place.
That's not true, but that's because I've never let you in my bed, and I wouldn't think about letting you all in my bed. You make stains. All the same, nighty night. See you all in about 12 hours. I'm gonna get some shut-eye. It has been 64 hours since I last laid down, so I'll see you all around. Don't wake me up. If you're gonna steal anything, just give it to the cheap stuff. And he saunters back to his bedroom. Closing of his door definitively sounds like shutting of prison bars, if something has been locked away from society. As you settle into the restroom, into the bathroom, several things become immediately obvious. There are no windows in the bathroom. The tub is long enough for Shaquille O'Neal to bathe comfortably, meaning it's a tub where 2, 3, or more average-sized individuals could party. There's even pre-prepared mirrors to make use of in various sizes. Here's the small little personal one that looks roughly the size of the average person's palm. There's one that's almost twice to 3 times as large as that. And then there's the full-fledged tile, which is 12 inches by 12 inches of reflective surfaces prepared and removed from whatever it had once been attached to. In the bedroom, as pointed to. Another oddity. It's right. You move the curtain aside to see if there's anything you might need to do to make it UV safe, and realize that there is a brick wall here. It hasn't been painted over. It hasn't been boarded up. Someone literally bricked over the window. They left the curtains up or put the curtains back up, but the window has been bricked over. The only semblance of light that could enter would be from the hall, which has a draft dodger beneath the door, making sure that once it is closed, the only opportunity from light would be from someone's phone or the lights overhead.
I don't really feel safe here, but I guess what choice we got, right?
Well, I mean, looking around, it seems like they're kind of like us anyway, so I doubt they'd be awake. But in case they are, I will sleep in front of the door and put my whole weight against it and hope that's enough, I guess. But, I mean, I know it hasn't been the greatest night. We lost the Baron.
Well, it's been pretty shit, really.
Lost my car. Now we gotta throw this party and pretend everything's all fucking okay.
Right, when I woke up, I was an anarch, and apparently now I'm back in the bloody tower.
What? How do you get back from talking to that guy?
Well, he's a bloody prince, and we're working for him, right?
Yeah, but he's a prince of there. We're anarchs. There's no prince here.
Well, isn't he the prince of here? Like, the Baron's dead, so, like, no one's in charge. I thought that was the implication, was that he had declared himself prince.
Maybe? I don't know. Like, I'm new at this, remember? So I don't know all that much about how this whole thing works, but I think everybody gets their own area, and I think there's supposed to be another Baron maybe stepping up or something, but I don't know. It could be. Maybe that's what the party's for.
Perhaps. I don't really know. I never really paid attention. It wasn't important before. Anyhow, one pile of shit after another tonight. It's been pretty naff.
Truer words have never been spoken. One thing compiling and piling upon the next. If only there was time, if only there was opportunity to have moved the correct block in advance of the tower that now sits above everyone's head. Hindsight being 2020, luckily for all of the members of the burgeoning coterie, everyone wears glasses. There's a lot of consideration as for the party and what that means and what may be in the offing. Whatever it is, one certainty is that even without any lead in, any build-up, it is shaping up to be a party that only a fool miss. On that note, with possibilities and probabilities waiting in the wings, leave our coterie dying for the day. In the domain, under the hospitality of, in the presence of, ever. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much.
Good night.
Night all.